winners of the competition will be winning a cash prize of rupees 3,000 and 2,000 by the runners up. Participants will have your detailed introduction towards the end, but if you like to tell your names and your team name, you can go ahead. So we'll go ahead with Boni and Blessing.
So, hello to the members of the jury, moderator, and fellow contestant. So, my name is Boni Anthony. So we are from Team Jofian.
Yes, sir, I would. Yes, sir, I would detailedly explain it after we begin the bout.
Okay, fine.
Okay, just Maria, can we have the introduction?
Yeah, hello everyone present here. So I'm just Maria from Team Zeta.
And I'm Eliza from Team Zeta.
So now we will start the official debate. To bring in more enthusiasm and strength of debate, we have given the topic for the participants 5 hours before the competition, and also we have taken the lots, that is who will speak in favor of what. The lot has been taken at 5 o'clock, and I hope the judges were informed about it. Okay, so I'm sure all the participants by now are well aware of the rules, but still at the beginning of each bout I'll be explaining them once again. Okay, I would also like to present to you about the connectivity guidelines. Just wait a second so that I can share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So connectivity issue guidelines. If one of the participant gets disconnected, the other teammate can continue in case of bout 2 and bout 3. So here we have both their teammates together, so that won't be an issue. If disconnection happens in bout 1, the participants will be given 3 minutes to come back and report, or else the game will go on. If both the teammates gets disconnected, a wait time of 5 minutes will be given, and then 0 points will be awarded for that bout. If 2 or more participants gets disconnected, the bout will have to be restarted after a wait time of 5 minutes. If using Wi-Fi, prepare a backup mobile data. Am I clear? Okay. So let us now begin debate. The topic given was judicial appointment, Collegium versus NJAC, that is National Judicial Appointment Commission. So the team Zeta of Jis Maria and Alitza will speak in favor of Collegium, in favor of NJAC. Judges, kindly note, Team A will be Team Zeta, that is Jis Maria and Alitza, who will be speaking in favor of Collegium. Right? And Team B will be Team Jofiel, that is Blessy and Boni Anthony, who will be speaking in favor of NJAC. So Team A, that is Jis Maria, will be speaking in favor of Collegium, and they will be going first in every bout. Team B, Blessy Anthony and Boni Anthony, Team Jofiel, will be speaking in favor of NJAC, and they will be going second in every bout. I hope it is clear to the judges.
Yes.
Okay, judges? Yes, okay. So if I'm clear, I will be moving on to the bout 1. Participants, are you ready? Okay. So coming to the rules of bout 1. Bout 1 is basically an introductory bout. Each participant in the team will be given 3 minutes to present his views to the topic. Time spared by the participant will not be shared with the teammate. This round should not be used for rebuttal.
Hello.
Okay, so I will be sharing my timer on screen.
Not possible. We are here mute.
Just let me know if it's visible.
ഞാൻ ഷിൻടോനോട് പറയാം.
Participants, the timer visible?
കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. യൂട്യൂബിൽ
Yeah, it is.
കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ?
Okay. So team A,
No, I'll just check with that.
are you ready?
I'll just
Yeah.
check Jason.
Judges, are we ready? Can you go ahead?
Yes.
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 Okay. So team A, that is Jis Maria, will be starting first. Your first 3 minutes starts now.
Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to all judges present here. So, we Team Zeta are going to be speaking for the collegium system. The collegium system in India is the system responsible for the appointment of new judges and
Hello.
transfer of existing judges. The
Hello.
collegium has judges selecting judges. The judiciary of India remains separate from politics. The collegium system has improved through judgments from the Supreme Court SC of India. Unlike other organizations, this had not been established by an act of parliament or a constitutional provision. Under the collegium system, the existing to appoint new judges to the courts. The collegium system finds its foundation in the Judge Supreme Court, known as the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court receives judgments from first judge's case, second judge's case in 1993, Supreme Court advocates on Record Association versus Union of India, and the third judge's case in 1998 in Re Special Reference 1 of 1998. A High Court collegium is headed by its Chief Justice and four other senior most judges of that court. Names recommended for appointment by a judge by a high court include the CGI and the Supreme Court Collegium. The collegium system was adopted in 1993 to ensure democracy in the judicial system. This Chief Justice of India's opinion is not merely his or her individual opinion, but an opinion formed collectively by a body of people at the apex level of the judiciary. The system was introduced for strengthening and improving the appointment process and also by preserving our democratic system by maintaining the independence of judiciary as a part of basic structure and securing rule of law. Even evidences show that the Supreme Court rejected the NGAC Act along with the 1999 Constitutional Amendment Act, which gave politicians and civil society to have a say in appointing judges in the higher courts after several people and bodies filed many people filed petition with the Supreme Court advocates on record association being the first and led petitioner. The five-judge Constitution bench gave the verdict in a 4:1 majority and struck down the NGAC Act, declaring it unconstitutional and void. And that is what I wanted to say.
We still have 15 minutes, 15 seconds left. Just okay. So the teammate of team A will be starting your 3 minutes right now. Let me just reset the timer.
Okay, a warm welcome to all the judges. So I want to say about the collegium. For High Court appointments, the Chief Justice, the respective High Court, and other senior judges form the collegium. The collegium's recommendations are considered by the President of India for appointment or transfer of judges. However, the President is bounded by the collegium's recommendation, and in most cases, the recommendations are accepted. The collegium system is a judicial appointment that refers to a process where a group of senior judges collectively decides on the appointment and elevation of the judges in the higher judiciary. Collegium system has been followed in India as well as in other some countries. The collegium system helps maintain the maintenance and independence of the judiciary by ensuring the appointments are made by the judges themselves rather than being influenced by external factors such as executive or political considerations. This helps preserve the separation of powers and protect the judiciary ability to act impartially. The collegial system allows senior judges who have extensive experience in the legal field to participate in the selection process. This ensures the appointments are made based on the judges' knowledge of the law, their understanding of the legal system, and their assessment of the candidate's ability. It helps ensure that qualified and competent individuals are appointed to the judiciary. The collegium system promotes transparency in the appointment process. The deliberation and decisions of the collegium are documented, and the reasons for selecting or rejecting candidates are usually provided. This helps maintain accountability and allows for public security of the appointment process, which is essential for upholding the integrity of the judiciary. So, we would rather trust the collegium system than the NJC.
You still have 30 seconds left. Okay. So since team A is done with the bout one, we'll move on to bout one for the team B. Boni Anthony and Blessy Anthony, are you ready?
Yeah. Are we like visible?
Just a second. For me, can others confirm, please?
Yes, Moni, you're visible.
Yes. Okay. So your time starts now.
A very good evening to the members of the jury, fellow competitors, and the moderators and other people present in this meeting. So, when I believe about the machinery of government, I believe that the three bodies, that is executive, and legislation and the judiciary, should work in coexistence. That means that they should listen from each other, learn what the other side of the machinery is trying to do, and take decisions in basis of consultation from the other side of the other bodies. So the National Judicial Appointment Commission Act, which is the 99th Amendment, was made in such a notion. So according to the NJC Act, it states that a panel of 6 members, which include the Chief Justice, 2 senior judges from the Supreme Court, the Union Minister of Law and Justice, and 2 eminent persons should be present in the panel. And these 2 eminent persons should be selected by the Prime Minister, the Chief Justice of India, and also the opposition leader of the Lok Sabha. Or in case if the opposition is not present, the leader of the party which is having the second highest number in the Lok Sabha. And also the 2 eminent people whom they are selecting for the panel should be from the scheduled castes or scheduled tribes, other backward classes, or from the minorities, or from women. So in such a way, the NJSA Act constitutes for a much more wider participation in selecting the judiciary of our country. Because one of the main reasons why NJSC was formed was the judiciary of the country is not just a closed part of the government machinery. It should work with coexistence along with the other machineries. So we can see in the legislation and the executive bodies how they work in coexistence. Now there were many instances where the executive body presents out ordinances, but at least they have the minimum right, minimum responsibility to put over the bill in the legislation, and the bill would be passed by the legislation. Only then it would become a law or an act or an amendment. But the same is not happening for the judicial system. The judicial system is not completely cooperating with the executive and the legislation. They are taking up as an independent body. In such a way, there is no representation for the people, the common man of India. The common man could not take a mandate in such an important position of our country, because the main objective or responsibility of the judiciary is to maintain the law and order and look upon whether the law and order is being properly followed by the people and the government. So when judiciary can look over the executive people, why can't the executives and the legislation look over the judiciary? So in such a way, NJSC would work in
Okay, so team B, if your next teammate, your time starts now.
So, in order to understand what are the advantages of the NJAC, I think we have to understand the loopholes of the collegium. So, like my teammate had stated, it's not a very transparent system. Justice J. Chalameshwar had stated that the decision making of collegium is more opaque and it is not open to the public and to the history. It is out of a public case. To put it in a very simple words, it's a closed room of judges who are taking decision, but the public do not have an access to know what is happening inside that closed room. The second disadvantages would be there is no sufficient background check happening in this appointment. Also, this is not official. The collegium system is not an act of constitution or the parliament. It was amended and evolved by over the years by the judges. According to the evaluation of the recent needs and the recent demands, the judges had evaluated and amended, and that's how the collegium was formed. So in itself, it's not official. And also, there is no official recording or minutes of the collegium proceedings. That is not the case with legislature and the executive. If you see the legislature and the executive, the meetings that are happening on the decisions that are being taken there is given to the public. The public also gets an access to see that, to know that, to put out their opinions, their suggestions. But that is not the case with the collegium. What happens in collegium is that the judiciary system is making the decisions, but there is no official recording or minutes of the same. Also, another important factor is that it overlooks the talent. Here, the more majority is given to the seniority. The last disadvantage that I would like to state is definitely the nepotism. Nepotism is not only here, it is all over the place. You can see the politics, you can see Bollywood, you can see business. Nepotism is all over the place. Why not nepotism can happen in the judiciary system as well? If you can see the recent case in Allahabad accusation that had happened in the year 2018, out of the 37 judges who were appointed, over 11 were found to be the associates or the relatives of the sitting or the existing judges. This shows that the nepotism or the corruption is happening in the judiciary system as well. So, if NGAC model can be a model that can solve the loopholes of the collegium, then why is there so much opposition to stop the NGAC model? According to these loopholes that I have stated, I still feel that the collegium model is having its own drawbacks, it's having its own positives as well, but I feel that with the help of NGAC model, the loopholes in the collegium model can be resolved. So that is the reason why we had stated all these drawbacks here, because it would give us a clear understanding as to why in the following discussion we will be suggesting that NGAC model is a better one than compared to the collegium model.
So done. Okay. Okay, so we have come to the end of bout 1. Judges, can we move ahead to the bout 2?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay. So before moving ahead, I would just like to interrupt and welcome Reverend Father Jose Prakash, Regional Director of Youth Director of Hyderabad Region, who is also joining us today to witness the competition. Thank you for joining us, Acha.
Thank you.
So moving ahead, I'd just like to explain the rules of bout 2. Bout 2 is basically a rebuttal bout. This round will be conducted in 3 sets, set 1, set 2 and set 3. 2 minutes will be allocated for both the teams in a set. This round is exclusively for rebuttal. Okay, so in each set, the team A will be speaking first, followed by team B. Okay, and you will be given 2 minutes. This 2 minutes can be shared among you or either speak alone. Am I clear? Yeah. So also note the judging criteria, that is group dynamics, research and presentation. Okay, so going ahead with bout 2, team A, I hope you're ready.
Yeah.
Judges, it would be nice if we can see your videos as well. I'm not sure if it's because my network is low or... Thank you, judges.
The only issue would be, as the screen is not full,
Yeah.
all the videos will not. Anyway, we will try to see. Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Acha. Okay, I hope we'll start with bout 2. Judges, I hope you're ready.
Yes.
Yes. So, team A, You're about to set one. Timer starts now.
Okay, from whatever my opponent has said, one thing I want to say that the judges in are more judges appointed are a lot more experienced, so they know what to do. And also, what the thing that they said that the collegium is not so transparent, I would say it's completely not true because the state government sends the names to the center with its input. The center gives the names to the intelligence bureau, that is IB, to conduct background checks. The IB then sends its report to the Supreme Court Collegium, which includes Chief Justice of India, along with two senior most judges. The Supreme Court Collegium goes through the IB report and recommends the names and the center for the appointment too. And also, when it comes to the nepotism, I would say the collegium consists of the Chief Justice who's got the experience to get that position. So, and if his four senior most judges of Supreme Court and their recommendation, and all their recommendation would never be wrong. If though they are the judges' relatives, that doesn't mean they are not really deserving or disqualified, or they don't um, they have a disqualification about that.
And okay, and even one of the main criticism of NJC was that it could potentially compromise the independence of the judiciary. The NJC included members from the executive branch of the government, which raised concerns about political interference in the appointment of judges. The NJC was seen by some as an attempt to dilute judiciary's exclusive control over the appointments of judges. The collegium system, which the NJC sought to replace, gave judges.
Team A, your time is done for set one. Team B, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, your time starts now.
So, like my opponent said about how the Chief Justice of India and the panel talks with the Intelligence Bureau, and the Intelligence Bureau does the background check. One of the I would like to point out one thing, that even with this, why is it taking so much time? Why? Because according to statistics, in the number of judges that should be present in the High Court should be 1079, but still 413 positions are still vacant. And in Supreme Court, there should be 31 judges, but still 7 positions are vacant. So, and also along with this, the average time taken for the disposal of a case is about 3 years. So, in such a way, the whole process of the judicial system is taking a long time. And this is because there is no, even though even though you are claiming that the Intelligence Bureau is doing the background checks, there is no clear official record as to what and how they are doing the background checks, and it is not revealed to the public. The public doesn't know what, what way, and in what basis are the judges being selected. Another thing to be talked about is the Chief Justice before retiring, because in the five judges panel, because one judge didn't come, he had to send letters to the various other judges asking whether should we take the 10 judges to the Supreme Court, and two judges said okay, but two judges opposed against that. Why so? And no, and if a collegium is selecting people into the Supreme Court, why isn't it official still now? Because if every machinery of the Indian government is official, be it executive or legislation, why the collegium of Indian judicial system is not official? Why is it not become a act of the constitution?
So we finished the set one of bout two. We'll move on to the set two of bout two. Team A, are you ready?
Executed.
Okay. So Team B, your second set. Timer starts now.
So we're talking about big words and policies, but let's come to a real life incident that had happened. So everybody is aware of the incident where Justice K.M. Joseph and Justice Indu Shahani were nominated for the Supreme Court. And what happened is the ruling party were against it. Everybody knows the real reason for that also. In the past, Justice K.M. Joseph had passed remarks which were slightly against their agendas are right, then maybe the whole system could become right. No, so we should give the people, the common man, the right to decide, that people who get to decide the appointment of judges. And that is the reason why we feel that the NJC model is a better one than compared to the collegium.
So we are at the end of bout 2, that is the last set of bout 2, set 3. This is your last chance to argue and question the other team and also answer. So team A, are you ready? Your timer starts now.
Judicial matters, according to whatever my opponent said, the judicial matters should be handled by the judicial members who are experienced, who know what should be given, and not by the common people. Because many people have different opinions about different things, and we can't say, and it can literally lead to a lot more problems, and the problem may never be solved. And also, the collegium system does not allow the public interference because they don't want any external danger to that problem or anything. And the judiciary is made as last hope of things to get out of any control of legislature and executive too. And not only that, NGAC Act amounts to complete arbitrariness, since the appointment of two eminent person lacks the process of evaluation and is completely up to the decision of CGI, Prime Minister and leader of Lok Sabha. It amounts to violation of Article 14 of the Constitution that provides equality and non-arbitrariness in decision making. And also, I would like to say that the government that is the largest litigator in the country, in the court, would undermine the integrity of the CGI. The role of Chief Justice of India is not limited to the adjudication of all disputes, but also in examining the legal constitutionality of powers exercised and decisions taken by both the executive and the legislature too. So it is essential to maintain the independence of the judiciary from the legislature and executive. And it's a normal human tendency that they never want anyone to boss around them. So therefore, everyone would like to stay independent. So we would never for example, we would always strive to be the class leader in our class, not anyone who would listen to them. So therefore, the collegium system needs the independence.
Yeah. So team B, this is your final set. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your time starts now.
So you are saying that the total power of the judiciary should be handled by the judiciary itself. Don't you think that the total power in one person or in one hand is destruction? Why? Because judiciary alone taking a decision, especially in a democratic country like us, it's an absurd fact. Why? Because the common person of people of India, whether they are illiterate or not, have the basic right to know what is happening. Other countries are following this model. You can see how cases in the trials in USA or other countries, most of the countries for that instance are doing that. They have been doing it since ages. India has started doing that only in the present times, and that too in a really small number. And you are telling that NJSC is jeopardizing the independence of judiciary. You should take to note that NJSC has 3 members from judiciary, 1 person from executive, and 2 people from legislation. So judiciary is still in the majority in NJSC. So NJSC Act is still trying their best to include judiciary at its best form. And in no way they can jeopardize the same. Because the judiciary has 3 votes. And also, if you will say, just like how my opponent talked about KM Joseph, judiciary, if they are given total independence or total power to themselves, don't you think the people, those who have agendas of their own, those who want to have a propaganda in the judiciary, won't they take it to their full use? It can't be possible in legislation or in executive, right? Because the people are present there, and that's the basic pillar of democracy. So I would like to say that NJC with including 3 judges in their panel, they are trying their best to support judiciary, and they are helping judiciary in taking transparent decisions. Unlike keeping it in closed doors, they are trying to make it official, trying to make it open to the people.
So yeah, so that brings us to the end of bout 2. Judges, we have reached the end of bout 2. We'll move ahead to bout 3. Okay. So bout 3, the rules. Each team will be provided 4 minutes to conclude. So this is basically a concludatory bout. You can conclude your point, support your point. 4 minutes provided can be shared by the teammates. This round should not be used for rebuttal. I hope I'm clear. Okay. So judges, can you move ahead? This will be the final bout.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So team A, I hope you're ready.
Yeah.
Timer starts now.
To conclude, as we said about it earlier, it may be said that the NJC may be a step ahead of the collegium system in terms of judicial accountability, but the fact remains that there is a main thin line between judicial accountability and dilution of the independence of the judiciary. A good way forward could be to continue with the collegium system, make it more transparent by call for expression of interest and publication of reasons, including the criteria as well as executive inputs regarding the antecedents, etc. Even though the government has introduced the NGAC Act to bring transparency and accountability in the appointments of judge, it actually amounts to violate the independence and supremacy of the judicial system. It is desirable to continue the collegium system as it guarantees the independence of the judiciary.
And I would also say that I would also like to add that judiciary's main duty is to maintain law and provide equality to all the people. And also, there is a provision for formulation of various regulations by the NJAC. One can only hope that the regulation made finally provide for these contingencies and bring in more transparency. More recently, the Chief Justice of India, that is Honorable Justice H.L. Dattu, has also refused to be a part of NGAC till a verdict of the Supreme Court arrived on this issue. His refusal to follow a statute fully in force is a discussion for another day. It seems that at least the present mechanism endeavored to be set into motion forgets the humiliation which the judiciary has faced at the hands of the executive. It appears that the toying of Mrs. Indira Gandhi in the emergency period has been wiped away as a distant past, which is surely no way of moving to the future. These positive aspects highlight the strength of the collegiate system in maintaining judicial independence and ensuring a merit based approach to judicial appointments. However, it is important to continue the discussion on potential reforms to address the shortcomings and improve transparency and accountability within the collegium system. And I would also add that please remember no system can be perfect. You cannot ensure independence, you cannot legislate independence. A judge must be independent even of himself, of his biases, prejudices, predilections, etc. But the thing is, on the whole, it is the human system. It is not a perfect system. I think I would rather go with the collegium system, make it a broad based, and taken into consideration in appointment of the judges rather than scrap it altogether. I would rather trust the judges than the executive. Therefore, I strongly conclude by saying that the collegium was the one, is the one, and should be the one appointing and promoting the judges.
You still have 1 minute, almost a minute left. Okay, so we'll go ahead with team B.
Yeah.
Just a second, let me reset the timer. Yeah, so team B, your timer starts now.
So, on the course of researching about this topic and during the course of this debate, one thing I learned is that NJC is not jeopardizing the independence of the judiciary. In fact, it is helping the judiciary to be a better, better body of the government, better body of the government machinery. So the main example for that is how there is three judges, the Chief Justice of India and two senior judges, while there is the law minister and also two eminent personalities who are chosen by the legislation, that is the Prime Minister and opposition leader and the Chief Justice. So in such a way, the judiciary system is given in adequate independence. And one of the very important thing to be noted is that inside a democratic government, every person is bound, every government machinery is bound to the common man. Every government machinery should tell to the common man why he took a decision, what are the causes for his decision. One of the main things we should realize is that for the legislation, we are able to see the talks they will have in the Lok Sabha using Doordarshan TV. We can see what the executive machinery of the government is trying to decide. Also from Doordarshan TV, they will hold their press meets. But the same is not there for the judiciary. And NJC Act doesn't compromise on the independence of judiciary. They are allowing the judges to have a opinion and also how to and they are supporting or rejecting. And that's how democracy works. There will be no rejections, supporting, or conversation or a debate. But it's the basic way how democracy should work, because a conversation will yield much more results than a person sitting alone and taking a decision. So I believe that NJC would work really nice in making our judiciary a better judiciary.
So, like our Chief Justice Chandrachud himself had, stated, collegium isn't a perfect model, and we all know that. I don't think there is anything to be ashamed or, feel embarrassed that there's some loopholes in the existing model. The basic, the process that happens is when we realize that the existing model is having its own loopholes or there are chances of exploiting it, we should start, we should start comparing the positive and negatives of the model. And after comparing the positive and negatives of the model, if we feel like the amendment should be made or the changes should be made, we can go forward with that. There is nothing to be ashamed or to feel embarrassed about that. We look at the first world countries like USA or Russia for all the technological inventions or for the space inventions. Why not for such things as well? Even in USA, the president has a voice to, appoint the judge with the Senate Judiciary Committee. Also in Russia, the legislature and the executive body, along with the judiciary, is having a power to, appoint the judges. Why not in India also the same model? When we know that the existing model is having few loopholes and we can do something about it, I think the better way is to make the changes and invent a new model. Because what do you think is a better one? To stay with the existing wrong model, or to amend and make the required corrections and look for a correct model. So that is the reason why we feel like collegium, yes, it has its own drawbacks, but that drawbacks can be resolved by the NJAC, and that is the reason why we both we feel like the NJAC model is a better one than compared to the collegium.
So, on a concluding note, I would like to repeat the quote I said in between of the debate. So too much power in one hand is destruction. So NGSC would help in equal distribution of power and make India a better country.
Yes. So we have reached the end of the competition. Judges, kindly note, please share the scores with the organizers who will be reaching out to you.
No, do you want us to WhatsApp it to the concerned or?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, they will be reaching out to you on WhatsApp.
Mini ma'am, I have already messaged you in WhatsApp.
Okay, while the judges share the scores, so since you have come to the end of the competition, we can see the enthusiasm and the efforts you have put in, and it has to be really appreciated. Now the judges will accumulate the scores, and after the scores have been shared, I think the judges can also share their feedback. Before that, to fill in the gap, the Participants, please give your detailed introduction and also share your feedback on the whole experience.
Yeah, so hello everyone. First of all, thank you to SYM Yuvajyoti for organizing this competition. So, like right from myself, Boni Anthony, I am from St. Kuriakose Elias Church. I'm currently pursuing my third year in BTech. So, right from school age, I liked watching and also doing debating because more than it's a more than an argument. It's a conversation. We are having exchange of ideas, thoughts, facts, and so on. So out of the many things you do, I like debating a lot. And when I heard of this virtual debate, I was much more excited. And over this yesterday and today, no, when we get each topic, when we researched about it, no, when we heard what our opponents are saying, it was all a really great experience. We get to accumulate a lot more knowledge along with research and also with the debate. And also, it's a great exercise. And I believe in future more than virtual, if we can do it like in person in a stage, it will be much more fun, I believe.
Yeah. Bless you. Do you like to add something?
Yeah, so I've not been to a lot of debates. So my brother had said that he wants to participate. So in order to help him, I also enrolled myself into this debate competition. But one thing I learned is there's so much in-depth research still needed. So about this topic as well, though I have seen it in news, I have read it in newspaper. I never did a research study about a deep study about this thing. So after this debate, I think I should be focusing more on this general knowledge in the current affairs and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks to the organizers, thanks to all the judges and the opponents as well. They gave us a very tough competition. All the competitors right from our round one. So yeah, thank you everyone. It was a really great experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Blessy and Boni. Just Maria and Alitza, we would like to hear your feedback and experience.
So I am just Maria and I'm as of now in 11th grade. So it was very wonderful experience for me. I never knew any of these topics and all, and this is the first time I'm literally participating in a debate in my whole life. So it was like a very good experience, meeting many teammates. ഒരു കാര്യങ്ങളെ പറ്റി ഇങ്ങനെ ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്ന. So when we came to the round one, for round one we were like silent babies എന്ന് പറയാം. Like baby group ആയിരുന്നു ഞങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരുടെയും compare ചെയ്ത് വെക്കുമ്പോൾ. Our age was the youngest. We never thought we would literally reach to the final at all. So age was youngest. Silent babies ആയിരുന്നു. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒത്തിരി റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്തു. അങ്ങനെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടിയെന്ന് പറയാം. Like we never knew any topic of them because it was not so common for us. And also as it went on for the next rounds and all, I came to know about a lot more things I was never taught, maybe because I was in an online course and all. Slowly from silent babies to rowdy babies are മാറിയെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. ഞങ്ങൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കുറെ നന്നായിട്ട് വർത്താനം പറയാൻ മനസ്സിലായി. How to actually tell a debate, how to be in a debate and all I understood. And so thankful to youth movement for giving us such a wonderful opportunity and for this wonderful competition. We are actually from Sainipuri, Saint Mother Teresa's Church.
And myself Alitza, and I'm from 9th grade. And at this young age, when I got to know many things about the debate, how is it held, and how we have to participate in it, how much research we have to do, and even we got to know a lot things what we didn't know before. The topics that gave us a lot of knowledge also.
Thanks for the opponent teams, whoever were there from round one for us, for giving us such a how to do a debate and all. To be honest, I learned from the opponent teams only. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, just Maria and Alitza. I think we have heard it all. We have babies of the debate to the experienced debaters, and as we have heard from the experiences they had, they've learned a lot from the debate. So, and Boni, I will definitely take your feedback to conduct the debate competitions physically in our coming years, which should be more fun actually. And also, as Blessy said, coming to this topic, which was very new to me as well, though even though we see in the headlines and all, we particularly our age group wouldn't bother much to go ahead and research or find out, especially about judiciary and voting and all this judicial related things. So I think it is high time we also start researching, at least have the basic knowledge about what is going on, because we will be the future of the country. And yeah, even me as moderator since yesterday and today, I've also learned about different things from the participants and also from the judges, who have been more helpful, putting furthermore insights for the participants in terms of both the topic as well as the debating competition itself. So yeah, I'm not sure if we have the results yet, but I would like to welcome the judges to share their feedbacks.
Before we proceed with that here, Maria, Joshi sir, I'm really sorry I'm not able to reach you on the phone. If you could share me over the WhatsApp or the results, I would be able to proceed with this.
This is a wonderful experience to discuss and debate this issue. Very nicely, participants presented the topic. And I would like to say one, in India, the fascism is not referred to a main point. That India, because of the fascist tendencies, they want to grab the powers of the judiciary, so that we should resist. This is what my opinion. So very nicely participants participated in this topic. Thank you for all. Namaskaram.
Joshi sir, can you please send this course to Shinton?
The thing is that I cannot audible. Please loudly present.
Okay. Shinton, please try reaching sir if possible. Joshi sir, can you please attend the call of Shinton? Sir? So yeah, okay, you can mute yourself, sir. Judge, the rest of the judges, you can share your views. Matthew sir, are you trying to speak? Your mic is on mute.
Now, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you're audible. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I should congratulate you for having selected a topic which is of very great importance in the current scenario, especially when the country is passing through a very difficult time. Now, the issue of the question of whether the Supreme Court judges should be appointed through the collegium as it's happening now, or whether it should happen through NJAC, has been debated for quite some time. Now, what I feel is that the judiciary, the Indian the Constitution of India is supreme. And the three pillars of democracy, the executive, legislature, and judiciary, have been envisaged to be totally independent by the framers of the Constitution. And therefore, independence of judiciary has to be made absolute and it has to be upheld. Now the question is whether through these mechanisms, we are trying to ensure that, or we are trying to improve the system that is going on. The collegium is, although it's not mentioned in the constitution, it is has been always the prerogative of the president to appoint judges in consultation with the judges, and that consultation process, which is happening in a more refined way or through a different process through the collegium, is already happening. There may be flaws in any system, and that system has instead of doing away with the system, we try to improve the system. So how to do that? That is the issue which was under debate. And of course, NJSC has been suggested to be a more kind of democratic method of the interface, having an interface between the executive and the judiciary. All that is there, but after having seen what is happening in the country, even the institutions like the independent institution like Controller General of India, the Election Commission, all that, how, although they are supposed to be absolutely above board, they are also trying to be interfered with in the present system. What guarantee is ensured to ensure that these kind of attempts will not be there when a larger body with the inclusion of the executives is going to happen. As somebody rightly pointed out, if there is a kind of kind of tussle, a draw between two bodies, the judges and the executives, then it's going to be creating more problems. So all that has been, that is why probably the judges in their wisdom have struck down this proposal of NJSC, constitution of the NJSC. Whatever be it, we can think about improving the system. We are not against any democratic kind of opinion sharing or more transparency in the systems, but we should be very careful, because especially the world's largest democracy, as we generally call, has to be tinkering the systems after a lot of deliberations. If something has happened today, it's basically because that tinkering has been done with institutions without much groundwork. Therefore, it is very, very important that before we kind of quickly deal away or do away with the system, we try to improve the system to the best possible, in the possible manner. Of course, upholding the views of the common man. And you know, in India, to what extent the common man is participating, although they are represented by kind of people. Even the President of India has been recently been kind of shown as a kind of a kind of rubber stamp in certain areas. I do not want to go beyond that. Anyway, I congratulate the team and the organizers for having selected a very important topic, because it has got a lot of ramification, implication in the Indian democracy, and especially in the transition times we are passing through today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this in-depth insight. I think the participants and also the viewers have got more insights from the participants and more when you have added to it. So thank you, sir. Next, Mini ma'am or Francis Archer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It has been a great pleasure sharing this platform with the SYM youth and listening to this very interesting debate on a very emotive subject on which the jury is still not out. And I congratulate all the participants, particularly because many of them said that they were all first timers, but you've done a lot of background research, and I think you've done a good job, and I congratulate you, and I'm sure that your next performance will be still, each time you compete with yourself, not with anybody else, and I'm sure you'll be able to do even much better. So on this particular subject, what I'd like to say is that our founding fathers had a certain vision when they drafted the constitution for our country on the dawn of independence. They wanted a certain balance of power to be exercised between the three pillars, which are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. And the importance of having an independent, fearless judiciary was very, very keenly felt by the founding fathers of our constitution. So we want, at least the country wants, an independent judiciary which will be able to dispense justice in a transparent manner by exercising its independence in terms of transparency, equity, fairness, and justice. As one of the participants has already pointed out, the judiciary is the last bastion of hope for a large number of people, particularly the ordinary citizen, and those who are living on the margins, and those who have no voice to express themselves. It is for them that the judiciary offers a ray of hope. So the appointment of judges to the highest courts of the land assumes a very great importance. Now, the question here boils down to two things. One is the collegium system alien to the constitution? This has been a question. This has been a question which has been raised by the former law minister in many platforms, where he has said that the collegium system is alien to the constitution. It has been brought upon the country by certain judgments. All of you have referred to the first judge, second judge, third judge cases. Okay. And the second question is, does the NGAC alter the basic structure issues which need to be resolved? Now, the silver lining that I see in this is that the Supreme Court has recently said that it is open to suggestions for increasing the transparency in the deliberations of the collegium. Actually, somebody said that the deliberations of the collegium are not accessible to the public, and that is not so. That is once the deliberations are open, anybody can access them under the RTI Act. But the issue here is that how much of what goes on in the collegium actually gets reflected in the minutes. I think very little, probably. I think that is why there are these allegations that the whole system is very opaque. So my final conclusion, or my final points on this, would be that if all the three branches, they respect their Lakshman Rekha and do not exceed the line that they have set for themselves, I think we can expect to see a fair and a transparent and an equitable system or dispensation of justice in the near future. These are my concluding remarks. Thank you, and I wish good luck to all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Francis Acha, we would like to hear from you. I know you're traveling. Would it be possible for you to?
Yes, I'm traveling to Hyderabad.
Yes, Acha.
Now, my 2-3 simple observations. Number one, being part of the debate also last year, I think the topics are becoming tougher, and of course, the participants have done their best to give their, suggestions and things like that very nicely. So, congratulations to all the participants. Then, with regard to the topic, in the present scenario of our government, we all hope, maybe the only hope that we have is in the judiciary. Now, if the judiciary itself is going to be corrupted because of those points which you have already mentioned, then India is going to a phase of hopelessness. I would say it is not only now, it has been the story in the past also. So we need a transparent system. We need a transparent system. We need justice, equity, everything respected and India moves ahead with a lot of hope, and for which all those points shared by you are very relevant. Let us hope for the best for our nation. Thanking you most sincerely for this beautiful debate organized by our youth. So to be judging this thing. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Asha. So we have heard all the feedbacks from all our judges. We are just waiting for the results. I think other organizers are accumulating them. We have Father, as I said before, we have Father Jose Prakash, Reverend Father Jose Prakash with us. Actually, we have invited him to, to do the main thing of the ceremony, that is to announce the winners. But if possible, I would like to call upon Father Jose so that he can also share few insights or whatever it is, his feedback on the virtual debate. Until then, I think these organizers will get back to action with the results. Jose, are you there? Jose, yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
I can see you. Okay. So I'm so happy to hear all of you, and very good. I was going through the political, social issues and everything that is going on. No, it's very good, and I'm very happy to hear about from our young vibrations. The both team A and B that is going in very good vibration words and everything. They spoke well. I don't know. I don't go inside to the topic and everything. I congratulate all the participants, especially team A and B, and I hope it is from Koti and Sainikpuri, and the teams are from there. No, I'm happy to that. Happy to hear that. I was enjoying here. I was enjoying here too. So I also thank the St. Alphonsus Cathedral SVN Yuvajodi for conducting this a good performance, and they gave very good knowledge to many of our youth through this debate. It's a good venture that you have done. So we all together on the name of the eparchy and the regional team of SYM, we also congratulate and thank the Kukatpilli, the SYM youth members for that. Next one also, I also thank the judges who are the very intellectual giants were sitting in front of us. So they were calculated, they were telling and judging and everything nicely. They gave the solutions and their feedback they have given. So that I don't also say that I respect and I expect their goodness in our youth and they cooperate with our youthfulness. Thank you so much for the judges too. And also, I announce the result that I got just now. I got the results from that from the judges. They have given to the coordinators, and I got the marks. The marks are not the end. Okay, this is only a level 2, just to grade only. But I would like to encourage you nicely. You have done, you have performed well. We all enjoyed all your performances. So don't judge yourselves. You are poor or you are not good or everything. You are done well and good with that thinking and everything. I announce the marks for that. So the team A has got 162.5 marks. So So let's have a good clap for that. Good. And for Team B, got 167 marks total. So good clap for that. So congratulations for the Team B and Team A for your goodness and your good effort. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very nice meeting. Youngsters participated in very nicely. I congratulate you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So congratulations, Team B, that is Team Jofiel. And congratulations to Team A, that is Team Zeta as well, since you're the babies, this is your motivation to grow up, okay? And thank you all judges for your valuable presence. Thank you, Joe Sacha, for your accepting our invitation and also being along with us throughout the meetings and also helping us to disclose the results. Now I would move on to the end of the meeting, that is a vote of thanks. Gratitude is the main thing. So I would like to call upon Nidhi for the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to everyone. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all those who have made this virtual debate, organized by Yuvajodi of St. Alfonso Cathedral in association with Nirvana Industries, possible. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to His Excellency Mar Rafil Tatal Pidav for being our inspiration. I thank our Vicar, Reverend Father Anthony Munjanatar, for being our pillar of support and guidance. This competition wouldn't have been a success without the judges of round 1, round 2, and the semi-finals of the virtual debate. I'm extremely grateful to them as they could make time from their busy schedules. A special thanks to the esteemed judges of the final round of the virtual debate, Advocate Joshi Jacob, Miss Minnie Matthews, Mr. Matthew, Reverend Father Dr. Francis Elvathingal. A competition never happens without the spirited and enthusiastic participants who were from all over India. That is, Diocese of Irinjalakuda, Diocese of Mandya, Bangalore, and various regions of Shamshabad Diocese. I would like to extend my gratitude to the Regional Director, Reverend Father Jose Prakash, whose encouragement made this competition possible. I'm extremely thankful to the organizers and the moderators. A special mention to Shinton, Aaron, Sojan, and Elizabeth for leading the team. I would like to thank Reverend Father Anselo for his valuable guidance. How can we forget the force and the strength of the Yuvajodi of St. Alfonso Cathedral, Miss Manju Sanjo? Thank you, Manju Chechi. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Josiah Verghese for his efforts in providing technical support, making the competition a great success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nidhi. So we have come to the end of the program. Once again, thank you all the judges and congratulations, Team Jofiel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chamari,
Thank you. Thank you.
So, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations. You've done very well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.